Cloud. Window. Progress indicator. Busy. Progress indicator. Window. System dialog. You are currently on a button. To click this button window, press Control.
Okay. Hi, welcome to the Divinely You podcast, as well as Saradivinelyyou You on YouTube. I have a couple of things to bring to you this evening. So happy Saturday or whatever day you are watching this video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me, all of the things. So I just got back from taking a trip to Texas. I was house sitting, pet sitting, and it was I joined a house sitting website in order to support my declaration of traveling twice per quarter in the year 2022. So I have fulfilled this declaration for quarter one because I traveled to California earlier this year and then now to Dallas, Texas. And so we'll see where quarter two takes me. I don't know, hopefully back to SoCal. Fingers crossed. Or I'm going to intentionally travel back to SoCal. I actually really love the beach and really love the ocean. So I wanted to share something. So I was actually supposed to be on a date tonight. And I met this guy on Wednesday via a Facebook group post. And conversation was very amazing. We had a ton of stuff in common. I was excited. He seemed to be excited too. We planned on meeting, and as I was traveling back via bus, we were setting up this date for tonight, Saturday night. But he wanted the date to be at his house, and I was not so open. I was open, but I was like with rules because I wanted safety outs and things like that. And so ultimately the date did not happen, obviously, or I wouldn't be sitting here recording videos. But I'm glad I get to record videos and talk to you about it versus being with someone who's not fully aligned with what I want as a partner. So there's that. Dude kept asking for pictures, and yeah, I'm like, you've already got pictures of me and I'm all over the internet, so what are you doing? Building me an OnlyFans so you can make money? No, I wasn't sending him nudes. I definitely don't do that. But anyway, so my chosen attire tonight is actually sort of a fuck you to him because this is the dress that he saw me in and this is what he wanted me to wear, which I was just like, cool. But then when you start asking me for more pictures and then you want to meet at your house when we've never met before, and I found you on Facebook of all shady ass places. So my point in sharing all of this is not to tell you my dating woes. I mean, the dating world sucks balls, but it's to acknowledge myself for not compromising on my principles, on my values, and on my worth as a woman. Because if he's worth it, he's going to be okay to make me comfortable. With that, I mean, he would meet me in public, or he would be okay with me having, safety rules. Now, don't get me wrong. If there were men out there who I chatted with and they had a public presence, whatnot, and they wanted me to come meet them at their house, I probably would. In fact, I could think of a couple right now that I, do chat with that I would probably feel just fine meeting them at their house. But they have a public presence. This guy's Facebook profile was like locked up. Like there was nothing. I couldn't see anything about him. But I was just not willing to make compromises about myself, my values, and my worth. And I was certainly not willing to send him more pictures of me. And he did not specifically ask for nude pictures, but I'm guessing that's where we were headed. That was not going to happen either, because I am worth more than that shit, okay? I'm telling you, I have done so much turnaround on my value and my worth definitely in the last month and a half of grueling release and letting go. But certainly over the past 6 years of coaching and therapy and, just claiming myself and my power. And I'm of the opinion now at this point, and people think that I'm limiting my dating choices. Absolutely. And I don't want to date somebody who's not in alignment with me. It's just not worth it to compromise myself or to lower my standards to meet whatever, he's up to or whatever. So anyway, so what did I do? I didn't really do anything. I mean, I luckily have a lot of supportive people. And so I kind of like shared my situation with them. And some people were like, well, you can try it, but take these precautions or whatever. Other people were like, no, if he can't meet with you in public, he's not worth it. And but ultimately he ghosted, and que sera, sera. And after that, I had plenty of people, it's his loss. And I agree, it's his loss. And so I didn't cry. I didn't really even, I just sort of let it go, because I'm like, you know what, there's got to be a better match out there. So I had that little lesson or reminder that I am worth a better partner. So if people are wondering why I don't date, because I do date, I want to date, but I'm also not willing to compromise myself to date, if that makes sense. Okay, so that was my self-worth lesson. I've done a lot of writing about self-worth over the last couple of months. Some of it's on my Instagram, Saradivinelyyou on Instagram, if you want to read about some of my self-worth lessons over the last month and a half. There may even be some of it on my Patreon, one of my patreon.com/divinelyyou, Saradivinelyyou, I don't remember. So I don't advertise my Patreon, probably enough, but it exists. I do have a Patreon. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about self-care with regards to traveling and getting back home and organization and things like that. And so yesterday I got home, I got into Phoenix and made my way to the Phoenix house that I was going to be moving to, but am not now moving to. But I decided I really wanted to close that door. I wanted to give it a good hard slam. So I intentionally went to that house yesterday to pick up 2 last things that were there that were important. There's another thing there that is not as important, but there's 2 things there that were important. And I picked those up on my way home. But by the time I got there, I was so wore out and so exhausted. And I thought, I can transit home. And then I'm like, no, if you can get an Uber for like $20, you should just do an Uber. And I was able to get an Uber for less than $20. So I took an Uber home from there. And I was glad I did. I laid down, I took like a 2-hour nap and then got up for a few hours, but then I slept really good last night. And so honor your self-care. Like sometimes if you need to give the investment of like 15 or $20 for an Uber because you're tired, like do that shit. Do that shit. I've sort of gotten over the idea that I can push myself through if I'm exhausted or mentally drained or whatever. Like I've gotten over, I've gotten over the expense of, because for me, it's more of an investment. I'm investing in my self-care by, investing in an Uber or investing in things being delivered or whatever. So there's that. And then organizing. And so I've learned, by traveling as much as I have, to like how to pack and organize. And I was thinking today I had a couple of random, I had like all of my supplements that needed to be organized and a bunch of oils and oil products that need to be organized. And so I immediately jumped into organizing tasks today because I'm like, I need to get this shit under control. And I think about, previous version of me that would just be like, fuck it, I'm tired. It's been a long week. And I'd stay in bed all day, but instead I'm like, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to make this shit happen today. To me, it's become a level of self-care. It has become that important to me to to take action on the things that matter in my self-care. Now, I've learned a lot about myself by studying astrology. I know I've talked about this. Maybe I've done some writing about it. I'm not sure. But anyway, and I'm learning more and more about myself with regard. I just talked about it in a video the other day. That's right. Okay. That's how long of a week it's been. I don't even know when and where I am in life right now. But I've learned so much about myself by studying my own astrology. I'm about to dive in even further. I just invested in David Palmer's, the Leo King's astrology classes. I did it because I wanted to do Hypergate, but then I was like, maybe I'll just do the whole damn class. And I didn't, I wasn't sure if I wanted to, because I wasn't sure I'd be able to like see the charts. And to be honest, it's overwhelming to me, but he slows it down pretty well. And he's a really good teacher. So I'm kind of excited to actually take some time and really just laser in and invest in learning more about my own astrology. Because the more I can learn and know about myself, then I know my self-care and what is required for me. B, I can teach my friends and my support people what is required. And I get to accept, and they get to accept, like, this is how she is, and it's all good, right? Like it's who I am, and it's okay. Third, I get to teach my partner, okay? Because it's that important to me that I be able to teach my next partner, my dating partner, boyfriend, husband, whatever role. It is that important to me that I be able to teach him what is required to be with me. And so I want to be able to bring all of that to my relationships in whatever capacity, whether it's family, friends, boyfriend, husband, whatever. Like, I want to be able to bring that to them. And so there's that. But I was thinking today, as I was like getting to take this action on organization and whatnot. And for me, it's like a level of self-care, because it's like, life functions better when I take the time to organize my shit and know where things are, and have a clear space, have a clean space, and all of that. So learning about yourself and learning to accept yourself and love yourself, flaws and all, to me has been the most rewarding piece of inner work, of coaching work, and of studying astrology and human design and all of the pieces. And they all kind of start to flow together and work together. And I resisted so much of it for so long. Like, I don't need to buy all of the oils. I don't need to buy all of the crystals and all of that. But I'm telling you, the more that I have bought the crystals, bought the oils, which now decorate my desk, by the way. This is why I need to organize my shit. Hopefully that bottle did not just break. Pretty sure it didn't. doTERRA bottles are pretty sturdy. Anywho, so, and that's me being human. But I also have like markers and crap all over my desk, so I can never find my chapstick because all this shit is all. So I'm like, I need to organize. But one of the things that I know about me is, and this is why I get so attracted to people who have earthy energy, earth in their charts, in their astrology, is because they ground me. And I'm not good at grounding myself. But organizing and learning how to manage my human needs of self-care, right? Organizing, my own like personal needs, being sturdy in the fact that I, need specific laundry, or, just specifics that I need. I want to say like laundry detergents, cleaning supplies, and things like that. Like, there's reasons why all of that is so important to me, because and to acknowledge that those are necessary for me. The reason that that's so important is because that's the kind of shit that keeps me grounded. And so this is all rewards for me for doing years of inner work. So if you're sitting there and you're contemplating whether you should hire a coach because you're like, I don't need a coach, my life is fine. Yes, your life is fine. And you're a perfect human being. And learning about yourself, acknowledging yourself, and learning how to care for yourself on so many levels will make your life that much better. So yes, you're perfect. You're fine just so you are. And there's so much more to know about yourself to make your life even better. So, and to create better versions of you, or different versions of you. It doesn't even have to be better. It can be just different, right? I'm a whole different version of me than I was 6 months ago, a year ago. Like, I don't know that I would have bought a pink phone with a pink case that long ago. Probably not. I'm pretty sure the last time I had a color option choice, went green with a black case. So yeah, so that divine feminine is showing the hell up. So anyway, that was what I have for you today. I am just such a strong believer in studying yourself metaphysically, knowing what you need emotionally, physically, learning your astrology, learning your human design, and knowing like what is required. Like when that moon is in a certain place, I just notice like I message people differently, I interact differently, my energy is different, and that just is much. It even like, what do I want to say here? It gives me that much more of an ability to flow with my energy versus trying to work against it. Right. So the more I can just flow with it, then the more work I produce, the more rest I'm willing to take, the more action I'm willing to take on projects, and whatnot. So I hope you found this to be helpful. I do one-on-one coaching, one-on-one Reiki work. Reiki comes with coaching. So I will do, Reiki healing and then support you on whatever comes up for you during the Reiki. And then I'm also a writer, and much more. So I want to say fitness and nutrition enthusiast, but that just didn't seem like it fit in with the conversation I was having. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning into the podcast, to YouTube. I really appreciate you. You can find me on Instagram at Saradivinelyyou. Facebook, what is my Facebook page? Saradivinelyyou, Sarah Waggle, I think. Okay, we'll go with that. I haven't really been using the Facebook page as much. I don't know. I'm fine to use Instagram. And I will, if I think about it, I'll link my Patreon below if you want to check out my Patreon. But I do tend to post lengthier writings or blog type posts on my Patreon. Because those two, if I do post them on Patreon, I think my cheapest tier is like $3. Maybe there's a $12 one. I was designing that into a program that just never happened. But it's still there. And I put my lengthier writings there just because I want to get paid for the work I do. So talk to me if you want to explore things more and you want to learn about you. I love you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in on all of the platforms and all of that. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a good night.
Stop recording now.